For these athletes, there are no four-year scholarships, no multi-million-dollar shoe deals, and no six-figure signing bonuses. The arena they play in is an arching ribbon of asphalt, surrounded by unforgiving concrete. If these rising stars ever hope to experience the rush of Turn 1 at Daytona at nearly 200 miles an hour, they must first master the short tracks, tight, lightning-fast bull rings known as the School of Hard Knocks. Class is in session. Welcome to round one of the $1.5 million United Speed Alliance Racing Hooters Pro Cup Series. Hello everyone and welcome to USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida for, as I said, round one of the Hooters Pro Cup Series. I'm Brian Drebber. Alongside me, the world's fastest ARCA driver, two-time champion Bill Venturini. And Bill, as it is with the start of every season, a lot of anticipation by the fans and a lot of preparation by the crews and drivers for this one.
Sure, you know, they haven't raced for almost 3.5 months. Anticipation, it's like your first date. You know, you're so excited, you just don't know what's going to happen when you get there. We're going to find out today. The crew members, the drivers, the owners, everybody's excited. 49 cars and teams came here hoping to get into the field. 46 of them ran through qualifying, and we will have a full field of 40 drivers for the start of this race. Now we have a third member of our broadcast team, and he's got the best seat in the house. He's down along the track on pit road. Here's Stephen Cox.
You know, the last time we saw number 73, it was right here at Lakeland, and Jeff Agnew, the driver, was picking up a check for a championship season. He's back outside of row number 3. Guess who's right in front of him? Number 23, Michael Rich, a 7-time winner here in Hooters Pro Cup Racing in 1998. In front of him, number 44, Justin Labonte. Terry Labonte's boy has had a great morning so far. He was very quick in practice, not quite quick enough, though, to take the pole. Instead, the pole went to this guy, number 84, Chad Chaffin, also a winner last year. What is the strategy here today, Chad?
Well, you only get one set of tires, but I believe you need to stop twice for fuel. You could possibly stop once if you hit the caution exactly right, but you could run out of gas if you get caught out on the track. So we're going with the 2-stop.
The sun is shining bright. The track is going to get very slick, very greasy. The championship trail starts here now at Lakeland.
And they couldn't have asked for a better day to begin a championship chase. Perfect Central Florida weather. Bill Venturini.
77 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. Crew members, drivers, fans, everybody couldn't ask for a better day. Perfect.
Well, they're pulling out onto the track behind the pace car. The 7th career pole for Chad Chaffin, who beat Justin Labonte by 0.05 of a second. That's not much.
3 feet in the blink of an eye.
Row 2, Mike Laughlin Jr. and Michael Rich. He's got a pile of wins under his belt here, starting from outside of row number 2. Got a couple of guys to pass. The defending champion, Jeff Agnew. We heard Stephen Cox mention him. He starts on row 3 with Jeremy Bowser.
Row 4, you've got the original champion of this series, Mario Gosselin.
Mario Gosselin, starting from row number 4, has been around for a long time since the series began. Row number 5, Johnny Rumley and Charlie Ford together there. A young driver and one with a lot of experience complete the first 5 rows of the field. As we look back through the rest of the starting grid, we will see that a total of 40 cars have taken the field. As we said, 46 came to qualify, 49 came to the racetrack. A few of them never even got out there. Engine problems and some mechanical typical early season woes kept these guys off the track. But it is a real action-packed field, and a lot of guys coming in with high hopes here, Bill. A lot of prize money at stake over the course of the season.
Oh yeah, what this Hooters Pro Cup Series has offered to these drivers, you couldn't ask for a better series. They offer you a great prize money, excellent competition. I've been to these races in the past, tight, fast, competitive short track racing. This has got to be the place to be.
Well, in addition to a great look at the racetrack that you see right here, we're going to have some onboard cameras and give you the best seat in the house. One of them is going to be on the Jackaroo Sauces Chevrolet, driven by Michael Rich. Here's the view from the passenger seat in his car. You'll also see from Derek Kelly's Discount Auto Parts machine an unusual shot.
What a unique shot, on the roof looking back.
And the 73 car, the defending champion of the USAR Hooters Pro Cup, Jeff Agnew's car, will give us this view. And finally, Steve Christian's number 0 Lucas Oil machine. That's what it looks like from the outside. And from inside, right down the center of the windshield. That's the view that you will get. The USAR Pro Cup Series is being brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky yet unrefined. And by Jackaroo Sauces. For your next barbecue, try Jackaroo Sauces. Jackaroo tastes so great they named a steakhouse after us. And by Naturally Fresh Dressings. Naturally Fresh, it's not just our name, it's our promise. And by WQYK, Tampa Bay's country leader. As they circle the track on their warm-up lap here behind the pace car, we are getting ready to begin the 1999 Hooters Pro Cup season. Welcome back to USA International Speedway as we're just about to get started here for not only this Jackaroo Sauces 250, but the entire 1999 season. Pole sitter Chad Chaffin receiving the Discount Auto Parts Pole Position Award before he even starts. So some of these guys are making money before the green flag even drops. Alongside him, the 44 car on the front row, Justin Labonte. These two are going to try to get the drop on one another, aren't they, Bill?
Yeah, we'll see who really gets the jump at the start of the green. Now, you got to remember, Chad Chaffin's the one that starts the race. If Justin jumps him, he should get black flag, but everybody kind of knows what they're doing. The race starts with the pole sitter.
And pole sitter Chad Chaffin looking for the green flag as they circle the track. Coming out of the final turn. Side by side, you can hear the engines come up to speed. The green flag is waving, and Chad Chaffin takes a narrow lead down into turn number one. Opens it up just a little bit. Justin Labonte trying to close the gap. On the inside comes the 7 car of Mike Laughlin Jr. from row number 2. Everybody trying to find the position they like best, but right now it's Chad Chaffin with the one they all want.
Yeah, right now everyone's just getting those butterflies sorted out, getting settled in. They need to get a couple good laps under their belt. Nice clean start, good racing.
Chad Chaffin certainly has the setup not only for qualifying, but it looks like the car's glued down to the racetrack. Only Justin Labonte is able to close right up to his rear bumper, and then everybody else is looking for a little air out there.
Yeah, you can see everybody's already got single file. That's pretty good. Everyone's just content and racing clean right now and getting in probably to halfway, and then they'll really see how they can charge.
Too early to talk about pit stop strategies, but certainly all of these teams have one. They're only allowed 8 tires for the entire race, so they have to shuffle and use them as best they can. Fuel, of course, a consideration right now. Running in 3rd spot is another man from the second row there coming in, and that is Michael Rich in the 23 car. Well, he won an awful lot of races and showing us why.
Yeah, he's always been quick in this series. You know, this track is so beautiful. Whoa. Yeah, he got a little loose in the middle of the corner there, but 18-degree bankings. Both corners are symmetrical. Beautiful racetrack. As a crew chief, it's so easy to set up a car because you have identical corners, and it's just a beautiful place to race at.
Looking back at a pack being led by the 10 car of Mario Gosselin back there. It looks like they are racing for 6th place. The top 5 cars. There's the 4th place, number 7 car. That's Laughlin, who started on row number 2, and with him 73, the defending champion of the series, and that is Jeff Agnew, of course. Back to the leaders now, and it is Chad Chaffin, and he's still getting a little bit of a challenge now from Justin Labonte, who has been right there, pedaling just a little harder, trying to stay with him. Is Michael Rich. Doesn't seem to have quite the car, or he's just giving those 2 guys a little bit of room. I'm not sure which.
I think he's just kind of relaxing. But if you notice in the corner, it looks like Justin's been able to run about half a car length lower than Chad has been already.
Well, those are the kind of things that will tell later in the race. And there was Justin Labonte giving Chad Chaffin a little look out the left side of his car there.
Yeah, you can see right in the middle of the corner as Chad started to push up just a little, Justin sticks his nose underneath him and keeps looking.
But these two have been locked together since the drop of the green flag, the front row, Chad Chaffin and Justin Labonte. And with Michael Rich coming up in 3rd spot. Then it's a little bit of a gap back to 4th place. You can't quite see the 4th place car coming into the picture as long as we're looking here at the top 3. Chaffin's car looking good, but as you say, Labonte a little tighter going into turn 1.
Yeah, you've got Mike Laughlin Jr. and Jeff Agnew. Again, you can see 2 different distinct lines. Mike Laughlin seems to run up a little. Jeff Agnew keeps the car right down on the white line.
Would you call it a 2-groove racetrack yet there, Bill?
Not yet. I don't think it's a 2-groove racetrack yet. You know, they're going to have to put some laps up on the outside, and then we'll see what happens.
Got a little bit of smoke there.
Mike Laughlin.
That does not look good from Mike Laughlin's cars coming out of the exhaust, and that tells us that maybe his motor has given up the ghost here. Mario Gosselin goes by. Mike Laughlin Jr. pulls it down on the inside.
And boy, he was so excited, looking for a good season, qualified 3rd, up front. Just felt he had a good season going this year and loses the motor real early in the race. Sorry to hear it.
Well, the Simpsonville, South Carolina driver of the Valinite car is going to be out of this race, it appears. Now we look a little bit further back into the field. We pick up the number 58 car, and that is Jeremy Bowser. He's one of the two Bowser brothers in this race. He is leading a group there that used to include Mario Gosselin. Gosselin has now escaped and is heading out towards the leaders.
Yeah, Mario's been able to break away, and he's starting to close in on the first 5 cars up there.
It is a very tight pack now, running for, let's see, 6th place would it be? Mario Gosselin, you can see he's got a little bit of a gap. Then it's Bowser and the rest strung out behind him. Up front, very little change.
You got 6 cars running bumper to bumper right now. Jay Fogman right in the middle of that.
Well, that's what the Hooters Pro Cup Series is all about, bumper to bumper racing and big donuts on the side of your car in victory lane. Yeah. There we are, back up front now to Chad Chaffin, pole sitter, 6-time winner during his career in the Pro Cup Series. On board in that group, racing back there, 6th, 7th spot. This is the Luke. Oh, and look at this, going around the number 72 car there. Takes a turn. Jeremy Gershner goes around, and that leaves a clear view out the windshield now of Steve Christian's Lucas Oil machine. There's Gershner sitting on the side of the track. Well, that gives us a yellow flag. Caution has come out, of course, and a chance for a pit stop. We'll return to the Jackaroo Sauces 250 in a moment. Welcome back to the Jackaroo Sauces 250, presented by WQYK. 15 laps down, 235 to go. Still under caution here, Bill Venturini. That was an easy one to clean up.
Oh, yeah, he didn't hit anything. Just a little spin. Everything's fine.
And it's bunched up again, which, of course, works to the advantage of drivers like Mario Gosselin, who had some work to do to catch the leaders. Now he's right there with them.
Yeah, he should be all right now. He's running in 5th place right now and ready to go green.
Chad Chaffin once again brings him out of turn 4 on the restart. Right alongside him, it is Justin Labonte. So things are as they were among the 2 leaders. And Chaffin seems to really have the car and hit the setup right here this weekend.
Yeah, that's one of the few Tauruses. I guess they have a couple Tauruses in the field today. There's 2 of them. And showing that Taurus is running up front.
And running up front well. They're showing you the very distinctive front end on that Ford Taurus. Single file behind him. Chad Chaffin, the pole sitter, 6-time winner, as we mentioned before. And Justin Labonte with a very famous last name.
Yeah, you see, it seems like right out coming off of corner 2, that's the second time I've seen Chad really slip. You know, the car gets a little loose, back end kicks out. It seems that only doing it off of 2, off of 4, he's real tight, but right in the middle of 1 and 2, the car seems to just drift up and gets a little loose. And
Justin Labonte is able to show him a little nose there, coming off of 4, too, and he is holding a much tighter line around the inside. His car is really hugging the low line on the racetrack, and if a 2-groove track develops here, Justin Labonte is definitely going to have the inside lane.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. But, you know, the advantage of a 2-groove racetrack is you're going to have to learn to pass on the outside, because everyone wants to hug the inside lane. You know, one thing about this series is tire management. We've got to see how good these guys, you know, they got 250 laps. They've only got 2 sets of tires. You know, you can go out there and drive the wheels off the car, as we say, use up the tires in 50 laps. Then what are you doing? Then you're in big trouble. So tire management, you know, you're looking at Mario Gosselin. He's running 5th. That could be planned strategy. He could be saying, let these guys run up front. Let them drive the wheels off the car. And in 40, 50 laps, then I'm going to just drive by them.
And it's important to hit the setup right, because that'll save your tires no matter what the driver does.
Yeah,
if you've
sure.
got the right stagger in there, you've got the right rubber meeting the road on all 4 corners, that's going to help you a whole lot.
Yeah.
We're starting to get into traffic now. We see the tail end of the field just ahead of the number 84 car here. Leader Chad Chaffin, Justin Labonte, and it is still Michael Rich running in 3rd spot. So clearly those 3 guys are the class of the field so far. Once again, looking out through the Jackaroo Sauces Chevrolet, Michael Rich ahead at the 2 leaders. Pretty quiet on the steering wheel there, Bill. What do you see about Michael's driving style?
Actually,
he looks pretty comfy.
Real smooth, but you notice you can hear the car accelerate, decelerate. You can hear him driving through the corners. It's really kind of neat. You can see he's turning the wheel maybe of a quarter of a turn to the left. To me, that's a good sign. See how he positions his hand a little different on the wheel? And the driver, what he does is he puts his hands on top of the wheel so that when he gets in the corner, all he has to do is pull down. It's so much easier to pull down than it is to have to push up on the wheel if you don't have your hands in the right location. The car seems to be working just perfect from what you can see sitting here, behind the driver's seat, so to speak, with the camera.
Some of the traffic cars moving out of the way nicely as the leaders come by, ducking down hard. Chaffin able to hold a nice tight line, getting over the number 60 car there of Jeff Emery. Emery apparently not so well with the setup here today.
Yeah, you can see when you hit.
Another caution
got
flag.
a caution flag.
We've got a problem out on the racetrack with Chad Chaffin and Justin Labonte still running 1-2. We see a car behind the wall, still looking to figure out exactly what it is. Perhaps
must be
some
debris.
Yes, it is. Some debris on the front straightaway. Sometimes it's difficult to spot when you've got a little bit of some loose parts, as we say, out there on the racetrack. But that is the reason for the caution flag, and we will return once again to the Jackaroo Sauces 250 shortly. Welcome back to Lakeland, Florida. Lap 29, it appears, will be the restart here as the drivers are trying to keep their tires warm, wiggling back and forth. The 72 car there of Jeremy Gershner that went around a while ago is among the leaders, but a lap down as you would expect. And so far, the top three, Bill Venturini, have really been the top three. I mean, everybody else has got to find something if they're going to get up there to contend.
Yeah, the minute they drop the green flag, those three cars kind of like get bumper to bumper and pull away from the field a little.
Here is Chad Chaffin with a great jump on the green flag right there. Gershner drifts back and inside, allows the leaders to go by cleanly into turn number one. Chad Chaffin, Justin Labonte, and Michael Rich in the 23 car. 1, 2, 3 as they have been virtually from the very first lap of this race. Here we go, looking over the roof of Derek Kelly's Discount Auto Parts car. And we're looking back at Bobby Gill.
Look at him closing in.
Boy, Bobby Gill, a great veteran driver, put together as part of a brand new deal this year with Bob Klein, the car owner. And here he comes. We're going to get a whole camera full of Bobby Gill here in a minute, it appears.
Yeah, you can see as they get into the corner, Bobby Gill gains about 1 or 2 car lengths on him every time. Oh, man, look at him close up here.
Here he comes up on the inside, giving Derek Kelly a look at him. Stage left. Backs out, over close to the wall.
Just as they come off the corner, Derek Kelly kind of pulls him a little, but yeah, Bobby's all over his bumper right now.
Here he comes up on the outside once again to the inside, showing him a little bit of fender, no contact.
Yeah,
no pass.
I don't know if there was no contact or not. It looked like they might have just touched, but you know, Bobby's working him hard on the inside.
He took that car completely apart and reassembled it to his own liking over the last couple of weeks. And and there's some definite contact as Gershner once again, and this time he gets a little piece of the 22 car there.
Bill Plemons Jr.
And Bill Plemons goes around in the Hooters car.
Hey.
And it looks like it's going to bring out another caution flag here because Plemons can't get the car turned around out of the way as the leaders are coming up on him there. So that gets, Bill Plemons Jr. appears to have the Hooters Chevrolet running again, but let's take another look at that replay here, Bill.
You can see as they get in the corner, Jeremy Kirshner, it looks like he might have pushed up a little, hit him in the left front door, definitely got him sideways.
Well, a couple of times handling problems for Jeremy Gershner. This time it collected Bill Plemons Jr., but he's moving again. I think I see just a little bit of smoke. Yes, there it is. He's definitely got some sheet metal damage, and it's rubbing on that left front tire. Well, one of the questions, though, that a lot of people ask, Bill, about the Hooters Cup Pro Cup Series is how does it compare to, say, the Busch Series? Well, Stephen Cox has a special feature here, and he went to the coach, Jerry Glanville.
Some of the big differences between Hooters Pro Cup Racing and Busch Grand National Racing, in fact, maybe the most obvious one starts right up top with the roof rails. You can run them in Busch, you can't run them in Hooters. You can also run a cold air box in Busch Grand National. No such thing in Hooters. In Busch, you have to have a 9-to-1 compression ratio. In Hooters Pro Cup Racing, anything you want goes. Some other differences include the tires. Hooters Pro Cup Racing uses bias-ply tires, radials in Busch. You also have an $18,000 engine here. You've got a $35,000 engine there. Now, here's the guy that has run all these and then some. Jerry Glanville, what are the differences between these cars?
Well, the big difference is when you're driving the Hooters car, you have the bigger carburetor. You have a 604 barrel, so you have torque coming off the corner, and that changes your driving style. When you're in the Busch car, you have that 390 carburetor, and you have to keep your RPMs up. You almost never put the brake on in a Busch car, where in this car, you can brake, you can dodge, and you got torque coming off.
This guy knows. He's trucks, cars, you name it, he's driven it. You can trust him.
All right, well, thanks to Stephen Cox and the coach, Jerry Glanville. We're still under caution here. We expect to go green a lap 36 in the Jackaroo Sauces 250 here at USA International Speedway. And it is still Chad Chaffin, the pole sitter, leading. Justin Labonte challenging. And Michael Rich, one of the winningest drivers in the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series, challenging the two of them, but unsuccessfully so far. We still have not seen a lead change, Bill.
No. Looks like Justin didn't get a good start, and Michael Rich actually bounced right off his back bumper.
Well, and boy, did Chad Chaffin get a jump off the turn that time. There is Jeremy Gerstner's car that caused a little problem there with the 22 car a while ago. And down the backstretch goes Chad Chaffin, still too wide. Boy, Chaffin really got away, and Justin Labonte has got a half dozen car lengths to try to make up on him.
Yeah, that's 2 restarts in a row now that Chad's been able to get a good jump on him.
Well, they're giving the move over flag to Gerstner on the inside there. Around the outside comes the 73 car of Jeff Agnew. And the 57 car of Joe Harrison, rather. Also going a lap down. There's another look at Mario Gosselin in the 10 car with Agnew, the defending champion. Gerstner backpedaling through the field, or rather they are coming around him. So that's kind of where a driver would want to be if he was trying to get unlapped. In this case, Gerstner, who's had handling problems out here today, understandably, and that's put some dents on the other cars. There's the 57 of Harrison also going back through the field on the inside lane.
Yeah, you know, you've got the 4 car of Jay Fogman. He's been running up right about the 6th or 7th spot since they dropped the green flag, and he's just kind of hanging in there right now. I think he's one of the smarter guys, definitely knows how to use tire management. Well,
he's driving the WQYK car, sponsored by big country radio station here in the Tampa Bay area. That's the number 4 car. We'll be watching for that one. And
did you see him 3 wide down the back straightaway?
Wow, Johnny Rumley at the front of this large bunch of cars. The 25 car there of Scott Wimmer, a guy you know.
Yeah, Scott's from Wisconsin. I used to race with his uncle, Larry Deachens. Famous driver back in the 70s and 80s, and what a competitor he was. Well,
Wimmer's down on the inside with the 27 car of Rumley outside. Those two leading this group. The 27 car is going now around behind, so Wimmer takes the position away, and then behind both of them is the 47 of Andy Thurman.
Nice move by Scott to get underneath him.
A lot of racing action back in the field, while among the leaders it's still pretty much business as usual. There's the 47 Andy Thurman there, close quarters racing at its best. Wimmer has gotten away a little bit from Rumley, and now these guys are dicing behind the 27 car.
Yeah, Bobby Gill is all over Andy Thurman's bumper. It looks like he's been pushing him for about a lap or 2.
Well, Bobby Gill, a veteran driver. You talked about tire management and mentioned his name, and Bobby Gill is a guy that knows how to save his race car all the way to the end. Oh, he just dove off the back bumper of Thurman's car there.
Nice
Made the move and got by, took another car with him there, brought the 21 car right up along with him, and Derek Kelly makes the move along with Bobby Gill.
Yeah, what a slick move. He just kind of used them as a pick. And it looks like Andy Thurman must be having some problems, because I noticed a couple guys have just gone by him. And Andy was definitely running, in the top 10, and all of a sudden he's been passed by 4 guys in the last lap.
Well, Bobby Gill and Derek Kelly there side by side. Here comes the Bud car. That's the 07 of Tim Clayton in the bright red colors. And the 77 along with him, Jerry Rector. So guys that may have been just kind of hanging out, waiting for things to develop, have decided to take their time cards and punch in and go to work.
Look at this shot. Is this like rush hour traffic? Everyone's running 80, 90 miles an hour. Where do you go? You're going to run into the guy right in front of you.
Well, that's Steve Christian in the Lucas Oil car. And once again, we get a view of a spin out through the front of that number 0. And so, we're definitely going to have debris on the racetrack right now, as once again, the Hooters Chevrolet is involved. And this time it's damage to the rear. Well, the Jackaroo Sauces 250 has been full of action. We'll return to it in a moment. Andy Thurman's number 47 naturally fresh spring water car is done, but Stephen Cox is with Chad Chaffin's crew.
Tom Perkins is the guy that puts together the 84 car, and you guys are really lighting it up out there. Does Chad have even more than he's showing?
Well, right now we're just waiting till the mid part of the race. We're going to get our second tires on. We're a little bit loose right now. We're just trying to hang on and get these second set of tires on. We're going to tighten it up a little bit and try to make a run for it.
Bill, how come all these crew chief guys say, we're just trying to hang on? Chad Chaffin has led every lap.
Yeah, if he gets any better, how bad is he going to be taking a jump on everybody here?
Well, he got another great jump on the restart, but this time Justin Labonte kept him a little bit closer, and it is still 23 Michael Rich running in third spot. We've seen that all day long. Mario Gosselin in the middle of a big pack back there, running in about 7th or 8th spot, but now
Michael Rich, he's dropped off the pace. Looks like something's happened.
I was going to say, all of a sudden, Michael Rich, 23 car, just disappeared. He's the brand new driver, 7 wins last season in that Jackaroo Sauces car, new this year. And, well, I don't know. We're not sure why he's having a problem. Hopefully he'll be able to get that healed. We'll keep an eye on him. In the meantime, there's Mario Gosselin running along with Agnew, the defending champion of the Hooters Pro Cup Series for 1998. Still tightly bunched.
Yeah, something's had to happen to Michael Rich because he's definitely not even in that group right now.
Boy, and Bill Clemens Jr.'s Hooters Chevrolet is certainly a lot the worse for wear. 2 incidents out here today. Also involved in that last little tussle was Karen Schultz. Let's go down to Stephen Cox.
A 7-time winner in 1998, Michael Rich into the pits. And guys, you'll notice that the crew is taking their time. They think that they just broke the motor, and it does look like a very, very short day for Michael Rich, who had been running very comfortably in 3rd position. Not a real problem to hang on to the 44 and the 84 of Justin Labonte and Chad Chaffin. Michael was in this thing, but the car didn't last.
Yeah, you can see when a guy slows down that quick, he's got one of 2 problems. He's either blown a tire or he's got an engine that expired.
Well, it turned out to be an engine with the hood up. Let's hope the crew can at least get him back out there. Points are available if you can finish. There's the 22 car once again.
Now look at Bobby Gill getting underneath Johnny Rumley. You can see Gill's been able to stick right down on the bottom. And like I said, there were only 2 guys that had been running that bottom lane. That was Justin Labonte and Bobby Gill.
Looking at Mario Gosselin has once again escaped from his little crowd and is trying to move forward to join the leaders. Bobby Gill just hanging around. You got to think that this guy's got something left or something for him, and he's just waiting.
Yeah, he's been able to kind of just ride all day long. I mean, so far, I think it's strictly saving your tires. This series is, the whole key is tires, because earlier Glanville made a comment about torque. What torque does, and you have a lot of torque with these cars, is you spin the tires coming off the corner. And that's what torque gives you. So you've got to be really careful. You don't stand on the throttle. You have to kind of just ease and squeeze the throttle. I'd have a problem here because I'm a steer and stab it guy, and I definitely like to come off the corner too hard.
Down on the inside is Joe Harrison, also in there Jay Fogelman in the QIK car, and with him as well as Scott Wimmer. Now we're looking out the back off the roof cam. Derek Kelly, the Discount Auto Parts car, and it is a tile. Look at there, some fender rubbing.
Look how close they get, you know? You wonder, and believe me, you know, when you're in the race cars, you know you're that close. Everyone says, you know, how close do you get? Yeah, you know when you're rubbing a little.
So Derek Kelly's Discount Auto Parts roof cam, he's opened up a little bit of ground from the rest of the cars behind him out there. Boy, tough break for Michael Rich, down in the pits there after he was so competitive all during this race in the 23 car. Tough break for him, but Derek Kelly doing a good job here, and he's got a whole bunch of cars strung out. Let's go once again down to Stephen Cox.
Michael Rich, any idea what happened?
I really don't know. We were running pretty good there, right behind Labonte and Chapin, and start on the restart. I guess we broke a valve spring. It's tough luck, you know. We had a great race car. We was just sitting out there riding. We didn't really have a whole lot for them. We could run with them. We couldn't pass them. And I really want to do a good showing for this Jackaroo car, but, you know, it's tough luck.
Michael Rich, talented guy with the backing of Jackaroo Sauces. He'll be in this one for sure. A lot of tight racing out there. Number 80 car, Toby Porter. And inside, that's Jay Fogelman, the QIK car, making a move inside there. Almost.
Yeah,
he's looking.
Yeah, he's looking.
Not very many changes of position so far. There have been cars kind of going back through the field with various problems, but here's some racing. This guy's going forward.
He's got him now. He worked him for a lap. You know, at first we thought we got him, and he looks like he might bring Scott Wimmer along with him.
Well, Wimmer had a look on the inside, and I guess once the car gets up a little bit, maybe out of the groove that he's used to racing in, it might be easy for another car to come through on the inside. Right now, it is Wimmer working on Toby Porter, and they are working through traffic. Jay Fogelman taking the position away. Let's see if he has anything for the leaders. 6th position to be exact.
He's able to pull away just a little coming off the corners on it.
Wimmer now looking inside too, and he gets the move and makes it easy. Boy, he just shot right through coming off the turn.
Yeah, it looks like Toby Porter slipped a little in the corner, couldn't get a bite coming off.
Oh, and he's having all kinds of problems right now. Another car gets through, and he's just getting bumped and beat all over the racetrack. Johnny Rumley comes inside as well.
And he's
That's
pulling
4 positions at 2 laps.
Pulling Bobby Gill along right with him.
Bobby Gill always opportunistic. Here comes the 69 of Bobby Gill in that Klein Racing automobile. So he joins a parade that just marches past Toby Porter's number 80 car.
Yeah, he brought Derek Kelly along with him, so looks like Toby's slipping back a little right now.
Well, could be temporary. Back to the leaders once again. Chad Chaffin and Justin Labonte have been like Siamese twin cars up there.
Yeah, I'd hate to see how good Chad Chaffin would be running if he was tight, you know, or if he was hooked up. You know, his crew guys had said he's a little loose and they want to work on to tighten him up. Man, he'd be awesome if he could get off. You could see it though. He's a little loose coming off the corner, so he's kind of feathering it, I think, right now.
Well, do you teach your crew chiefs to be so understated like that too, Bill?
Well, you know, I'm the retired driver now, so now I'm the crew chief. So yeah, you kind of downplay it a little when you know you've got a good car and you feel you've got the field covered. You try to downplay it because you don't want to show your cards right away. But he's definitely right now. These two guys are showing that they've got their act together. They've hit the right setup and they're saving their tires.
A Ford Taurus and a Chevrolet racing up front right now, and we've got another caution flag waving. No obvious incident on the racetrack. That tells us there is probably stuff on the racetrack, and that does seem to be the case. Debris on the track at lap 67. A yellow flag here in the Jackaroo Sauces 250. So we're just past the quarter-way mark now, and we'll slow things down for a little bit here to see what is going to happen. And we'll keep an eye on the racetrack for you while you look at these important messages. It looks like we're going to go green here at the Jackaroo Sauces 250 on lap 72. Chad Chaffin, pole sitter, has led every lap with Justin Labonte right on his rear bumper. And it looks as though things are going to remain the same, at least into turn number 1 again here, Bill Venturini.
Yeah, you can see the 22 car, Bill Clemens Jr. is down on the bottom. He's a lap down because he's been involved in a couple wrecks, but he'll be running up front with the leaders for a little while.
And we're looking at Jeff Agnew, the defending champion there in the number 73 car. Mario Gosselin, the series champion 1 year prior. This Hooters Pro Cup Series is in its 3rd year, and the 2 previous champions are running right next to one another.
Yeah, you can see they got to tiptoe a little through the corners when they start to go around these lapped cars. And if your car's not good if it's not working good on the outside lane, you've got to kind of back off a little and a little sooner than you want and not pick up the throttle as quick as you want. So you'll actually lose a couple tenths in the corners.
Agnew and Gosselin running 3rd and 4th behind the leader Chaffin and the principal challenger Justin Labonte. We saw Jay Fogelman's QIK car also running well. He has emerged out of the pack to run, I believe, in 5th position. And for those of you keeping track, Bobby Gill, we saw him a while ago. He's running 10th, so that'll give you sort of an idea of how everybody's running on the racetrack.
Yeah, but did you notice that Jeff Agnew's now closed it up on those 2 lead cars? You know, he before he was laying back. Now all of a sudden it looks like he's been able to close up just a little.
Well, you said strategy, tire management, etc. Maybe his tires are coming in. The leader's going away just a little bit. A round of pit stop should be coming up here, and we heard Chad Chaffin say that he was going to go for a 2-stop race. Oh, and it looks like number 25, Scott Wimmer's got the Jackaroo Gold car down on pit road. That's not good.
No, he won this race here in the fall, the Alan Kowicki Memorial, and it doesn't look like he'll be able to repeat today.
Well, he's down on pit road because he's having a problem of some kind as yet undetermined while we continue to watch a very tight race here. There's the 21 of Derek Kelly. We've seen a shot from the roof of his car. He is now up there contesting positions and in a lot of traffic.
And he's bringing Toby Porter around the 57 car of Joe Harrison right now.
And
No, he didn't get around him.
And the 07 of Tim Clayton, the Bud car, is right there. A lot of tight racing for position on the racetrack. Again, Jeff Agnew, Mario Gosselin running third and fourth behind the leader Chad Chaffin and Justin Labonte. In fifth spot is the number 4 car of Jay Fogelman. There's Toby Porter on the outside in the 80 car. The 77 is Jerry Rector. These are all lead lap cars.
Yeah, it looks to me like if you get on that outside line and you try to pass him on the outside, you just can't get the right grip because it looks like the inside line is definitely the faster way right now.
Rector's using that inside line to a good advantage. Now he's going to try the outside. He goes outside back in behind the 57 of Joe Harrison there. So the 77 of Jerry Rector is all over the track trying to find some racing room and trying to move forward in the field. That puts Porter back a spot. As we mentioned before, here comes the 12, also of Tim Edwards, into view for the first time we've called his number.
Yeah, but you can see Porter got underneath Rector and gave him a little shot in the left rear. It looks like definitely getting into some heavy traffic right here.
This is tight racing at its best in the Jackaroo Sauces 250, the Hooters Pro Cup Series, and it is just the first race of the season. There is, can you imagine if there was a championship at stake here today like there is in the last race of the season? Well, they spread out just a little bit.
Yeah, you can see Mark Nesbitt, the 30 car coming, the Ingles car coming around on the outside. Now, there's the first guy I've seen use the outside lane to pass somebody.
Well, maybe the second. Oh, and we've got big trouble on the racetrack here now. The 99 of Chris Diamond up front there. The 08 of Ronnie Davidson and the 36 of Trent Owens, all three involved. And it appears as though the only one that's going to get going right away is Diamond's car. Nope. Now Davidson is backing up and trying to get going, and the 36 gets out of there as well. Boy, that was a lot of action and a lot of damage. So a caution flag comes out here, lap 82 out of 250. And let's take another look.
Oh, you can see actually both cars started to slide. They both look like they're up in the groove. The 99 car, Chris Diamond, he's sliding back down the inside, and he's going to get tagged. No, he may not. The 08 car comes back down.
That was Ronnie Davidson.
Yeah, Ronnie Davis. He slides back down and hits him. They were both sliding in unison. As actually looked like they were ballet dancers.
Well, we got cars that are cosmetically challenged. Let's go to pit road.
Ian, you guys are picking up positions left and right. Are you stealing them by attrition or taking them?
We're just getting lucky right now. We're not up to speed. We're a little tight, having a hard time. So we'll wait on pit stop and make some adjustments. Then we'll get going a little bit quicker.
Is Mario talking right now?
He's not saying a whole lot.
Well, we're under caution here at USA International Speedway. And we'll be back in a moment to continue with the Jackaroo Sauces 250. Still under caution here at USA International Speedway. It looks as though we'll go back to green on lap 87 in the Jackaroo Sauces 250. Brian Drebber, Bill Venturini, and Stephen Cox along with you on the easy chair back home. Glad you could join us. And it is still Chad Chaffin, the leader, with Justin Labonte running in second position here. That's the way it has been. As they come out of turn number 4, Chaffin is in charge of the restart. And once again, he maintains his lead with Labonte right behind him.
85 laps of looking at that rear bumper. I think Justin's starting to get a little antsy about now.
Justin Labonte running in second position. Jeff Agnew running in third place. And Mario Gosselin had been in fourth spot, but it appears as though Jay Fogelman in the QYK car is challenging him, and on the inside he comes. And will he hold? Will he take the position? Yes, he does. So that moves Fogelman into fourth place, Gosselin back to fifth. Now, Jeff Agnew running in third, the defending series champion. We saw a lot of him in the Hooters Cup Series, but we had a chance to sit down and find out what makes last year's champion tick. 32-year-old Jeff Agnew drove the Twin City Motor Exchange Chevrolet to the Hooters Pro Cup Championship and the Miller Lite Rookie of the Year Award. An impressive double dip in his series debut.
I started out when I was 19, 20 years old in like a family division. You pull a car off the street and you run it, and we was really fortunate because we ended up winning like 15 out of 17 races, and you know, I thought it was going to be real simple. I said, this isn't as hard as what everybody says it is, and But once I started moving up the ladder, it got more complicated, and the money got greater, and I guess that was one of the things that hurt us as far as the money goes. But, you know, I've got with a fantastic bunch of people now. Mr. Asbury, the car owner of this car here, super good guy, and he's been putting the money in it takes to run competitive and to do a good job.
A 7-time late model stock car champion, Agnew started his career by winning races, a lot of them. But his championship came without even one taste of victory.
You know, it's a good feeling to win a championship and not win a race, because it shows that you're consistent. If you ever do find what it takes to win, that should mean that you're going to be a winner consistently. So, you know, we're just looking for the future is what we're doing right now.
Except for that one missing ingredient, Agnew ended up with the perfect recipe for success. 11 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and just 2 DNFs. But he knows it will be difficult to duplicate.
It's just real good competition right now in this series, and it looks like it's going to be tougher this year. And, you know, if you make a mistake, you pay for it. You know, we might have had 3 or 4 chances last year really actually to win a race, and it seemed like we always got a little bit of a mistake, and it cost us big time. So, no, you can't make any mistakes.
When you go off in the corner, you have to...
Consistency does win championships, and winning championships usually attracts the attention of teams looking for new talent. Agnew, like just about every stock car driver, sees himself with Jeff Gordon or Dale Earnhardt's job someday.
Well, we want to move on up. You know, we want to move up to Busch, and maybe one day run some Winston Cup races. So, you know, I guess if you ask 99% of the guys out here right now, that's what everybody's expectations are.
Agnew comes into the '99 season not only as the defending champion with the pressure that brings, but as a new dad.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, my wife had her daughter, Ariana. That's been an experience. Haven't got a whole lot of sleep. Everything, you know, goes, I guess, like everybody's been telling me, like parenthood goes for the first few weeks or months or whatever, but you can't beat that feeling. It's got it all wrapped up together. Scary, happy, glad, just everything that possibly could be emotional it's involved with a child, that's for sure.
And we're back to racing here, looking out the right side of Jeff Agnew's number 73 car, the defending champion, running in 3rd spot, and he has definitely closed up to the 2 leaders. First time he's really been there to challenge, while we look at Jay Fogelman and Mario Gosselin now heading the pack for 4th place.
Yeah, what a shot, that side view. You get to really see how fast they are when they go by that wall.
A little shot there of Jay Fogelman's car loose coming off the turn. Gosselin just kind of strolling along. Gosselin, remember, the 97 champion. Agnew, the 98 champion. And now we're seeing the 58 car of Jeremy Bowser moving in, and the 08 car of Ronnie Davidson, damaged in an earlier incident. Apparently it affected the handling of his car to the extent that now he's done some damage on his own up there, it appears.
Yeah, he's definitely hit both. He's damaged in the back was from before, and now he's got the front end tore pretty good. You can see it smoking pretty bad. As a matter of fact, you can see some fluid leaking out underneath the car, so this is going to take a little while to clean up.
And while they clean it up, we'll keep an eye on things here for you at USA International. Come on back and join us. Welcome back to USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida for the Jackaroo Sauces 250 opening round of the United Speed Alliance Racing Hooters Pro Cup Series. A rather lengthy caution during which some of the lead lap cars pitted, including Derek Kelly in the Discount Auto Parts car, from which we have seen that roof cam shot. And it has been Chad Chafin controlling every restart. He once again gets the jump, Bill.
And nobody's been able to really give him a good challenge so far.
Well, so far may be coming to an end. You know that, like in most pro sports, they are won in the second half. We're approaching the second half of this one right now. You have to figure that guys that have been hanging around, managing their tires, checking out the opposition, are about to make a move. And it looks like Justin Labonte is going to challenge for the first time. He's alongside. You can't quite see him. That's the 73 of Agnew, but just in front of him, yes, it is. Justin Labonte has moved alongside, and you could say now he has taken the lead. Although Chafin's coming back on him around the outside. 2 groove racing.
Yeah, well, yeah, now, like I said, it'd take a little while for that second groove to come in. But Agnew came off of that corner, off the 4th corner, and got a little sideways, and Justin stuck his nose underneath him and made the move. It took him about a lap and a half to do it, but he had the right inside line.
He certainly did, and now it's official. It is Justin Labonte who has officially led a lap here, and now that he's gotten in front, he obviously had a little bit of something for Chad Chafin because he's starting to open a gap.
Yeah, but now we've got to kind of pay attention to the guys that pitted. We're not sure, you know, if they took on tires, what's going to happen? How good are they going to be through the field now? Got to remember, these guys running up front are on 100 lap, you know, a little over 100 lap tires. So, you know, we're going to play into the tire situation, I think.
And indeed, pit stop strategy. So far, there have been plenty of cautions, but you don't know. We might have a long run of green here, and that could really put the kibosh on anybody's pit stop plans. You don't want to stop under green.
No, you stop under green, you could pretty well figure you're not going to have a good shot of winning this race.
All right, Mario Gosselin, Tim Clayton now running together, and this is a tight pack that we have seen Gosselin be a part of. But up front, a lead change. That's exciting news. And Mario Gosselin challenging for the front of this group. He sees the danger maybe in the fact that Labonte has now gotten the lead. Maybe he says, hey, I better get up there.
Yeah, he took him a couple laps. He was a little cautious getting around Bill Clemens Jr., but now that he's got around him, you'll see he's going to start to chase down the leaders.
Mario Gosselin in the black 10 car. Then it's the 58 there. Jeremy Bowser, talented young driver. The 14 around the outside is Charlie Ford. So some new faces or some new numbers being appearing in the pack.
And we've got Scott Wimmer back there. He's got to be some laps down because he had made an unscheduled pit stop, but he seems to be running up with probably in the top 10 spot right in there, but he is a couple laps down.
And Bobby Gill still hanging around. He's never been out of the action. He's always been in the top 10. There's a good look at the number 69 car going inside of Wimmer, who is 3 laps down according to official scoring. So Bobby Gill also perhaps sensing the danger. Some of these veteran guys they just feel it. They know it. They see something change up front, and they say, oh, wait a minute. It's not business as usual. We better go to work.
Right, because now they don't know how much. Oh, it looks like we've got a spin up in the middle of the corner here, right through the car cam.
Once again, out of the Steve Christian's Lucas Oil car cam through the dashboard. Boy, he's had the front row seat for a lot of different incidents, and Mark Nesbitt up against the wall there in the State Fair Corn Dogs car. He's not looking good. Well, he rolls it down the track, but doubtfully under its own power.
Boy, that car looks almost identical to the Derek Cope car.
Well, he fired. The engine is fired. He's underway. We are under caution once again here in the Jackaroo Sauces 250, approaching halfway. Under caution here at USA International, the Jackaroo Sauces 250 getting dangerously close to halfway, and looks as though we'll go green at lap 113 with Justin Labonte in the lead. Let's take a look at the replay. Cars scattering all over the racetrack.
Couldn't tell exactly what happened, but while we're on this yellow, 2 cars that were running in front have pitted, which was Mario Gosselin, the number 10 car, and the 69 car of Bobby Gill. Now we'll see what happens because they put on 2 right side tires and fuel.
Justin Labonte on the restart. This time he gets the jump on Chad Chafin in the 84 car, running an uncharacteristic second position. Agnew on the outside of Wimmer there for 3rd and 4th. And then it is the number 4 car of Jay Fogelman in the QIK automobile. That's the top 5 running on the track right now. Remember, Wimmer is down 3 laps according to official scoring, but he's got a fast car. He's still running out there with those guys, and if he can get in front of the leaders, well, he'll go only 2 laps down.
Yeah, but you know how hard it is in this series when you're running up with these leaders. It's not easy to pass at all.
No, there are enough cautions, but it's very difficult to pass the leaders, even if you have a good car, as Scott Wimmer does. Anyway.
Yeah, look at the group of cars. They're running, almost looking to go 3 wide. Oh, that was the 65 car. That's Blaze Alexander.
Blaze Alexander, first time we've called his number in the 65. In the black car, moving forward, up behind Joe Harrison to challenge. And the 14 we've seen of Charlie Ford has been there on the high line. Don Satterfield's number 1 automobile also in this pack. So we're seeing, again, some new numbers emerging towards the front, some of which is a function of pit stops.
Yes.
A few guys went in, gave up their positions.
Right, some of these guys hadn't pitted, and the guys that were running up front in the top 10 had already pitted. So you're going to start to see them come back through the pack here, and everything should start to shake out.
Still a very tight pack behind the leaders. A couple of guys have had distinctly better race cars than everybody else. There is another look at the 69 of Bobby Gill, still kind of stuck in the middle. Mario Gosselin coming back through the field after his pit stop obviously new tires did him a world of good.
Yeah, you can see that Gill and Gosselin. Whoa!
Oh, ho, ho. And it looks as though we're going to have another caution. We've got fluid all over the windshield of Derek Kelly's of Steve Christian's Lucas Oil car. And this time it is the 72 again of Jeremy Gerstner, who's had all kinds of handling problems, and the 30 of Mark Nesbitt against the wall for the second time, and for the third time by my count, Bill Plemons Jr. involved in an incident.
Boy, if it's happening on the racetrack, Bill Plemons Jr. has been stuck in it.
That is for sure. He gets the car going again. We are under caution. Let's go down for a visit now with Stephen Cox at ground zero.
Your pole sitter and second place car, Chad Chaffin, number 84, into the pits. This hopefully will be Chad's only pit stop of the race. We see fuel all over the back of the car, spilling everywhere. They're trying to shove in those tanks as quickly as they can. Meanwhile, they're going for a complete 4-tire stop. A little bit of a surprise. At Lakeland, sometimes you can get away with just wearing the right side tires and replacing them halfway through the race. It's one stop, a single stop strategy for Chad Chaffin, a multi-race winner last year here at Lakeland. He's in second place, and good work in the pits may be his best chance at taking the lead.
Well, he's in and back out quickly. The leader did not pit. He'll pick up the halfway award. Tell you about it when we come back. We are one lap away from the halfway mark here at USA International Speedway in the Jackaroo Sauces 250, and we are still under caution. This time now it is Justin Labonte in the front who will control the restart. Behind him it's the 14 of Charlie Ford and the number 1 car of Don Satterfield. After the pit stops, it has shuffled the order among the leaders, but Labonte did not pit. And now he gets a great jump off turn number 4. We're back to green flag racing. And with that, he has become, Justin Labonte, the Lucas Oil Products Halfway Challenge Award winner. Apparently he stayed out to collect that prize. Now he's going to have to pit because everybody else he was racing with did, and he's going to need tires and gas soon too.
Yeah, I hope his strategy doesn't backfire, because if he waits too long and the yellow doesn't come out and these guys that pitted, they get track position, you know, if he waits 50 laps or so, when he comes into pit, put tires on, he's not going to have enough time to get through all of this traffic. It's not easy.
Once again, it is looking out of the Lucas Oil dash of Steve Christian, and we have been seeing accidents through his windshield. This time it is Steve Christian that takes the Lucas Oil number 0 around on the racetrack, and that just may give Justin Labonte the caution flag that he needs. Christian gets the car moving pretty quickly.
Yeah, you look at the left rear of the bumper, you can see a tire marker. It looks like he checked up not to hit Chafin, and it looks like maybe somebody got underneath him and just spun him.
Well, Chad Chafin was coming through the field like gangbusters after having stopped to pick up right side tires and gas, so the caution has in fact come out. Now that we've reached the halfway mark, it gives us a chance to look at the Hallmark Trailers halfway recap. After 125 laps, most of which were led by Chad Chafin, filled with incidents, most of which involved the 72 of Jeremy Gerstner and the number 22 of Bill Plemons Jr. Early contender Michael Rich running in third for most of the race. In the pits with a blown motor, his day was ended. Then a nice duet and a 3-car pile-up that brought out a lengthy caution. This one involved the 08 of Ronnie Davidson and others. Then a pass for the lead by Justin Labonte, first of the race. He went on to take it, and then the spin by the 0 car of Steve Christian, while former leader Chad Chafin was coming up on him. That brings us to where we are right now, under caution, and with Justin Labonte looking like he's going to come into the pits right now. An opportune time for him to do so.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky. He definitely needs to pit now so that he has enough time to get back with the guys that have already pitted to be able to run up front.
Well, so the leaders that did not pit are coming in to do so. Justin Labonte coming in now with Chad Chafin about halfway, maybe a little less than that through the field. So we could see the leaders all reshuffled as he comes into the pits here. Let's take a look and see how well his crew does to get him up and back out onto the race course. A little quick clean to the grill, the tire carrier on the right side. Tell us what's going on here, Bill.
Yeah, they're changing both right side tires. You can see on the upper right-hand corner of the screen, that's the gas man putting gas in. The guy holding his hand up is the overflow man, letting you know that the car is full. Looks like they're going to do 4 tires. right now I think he's the only guy that's come in and do 4 tires, and I think that's a smart move because that's what I'd call. I'd make a 4-tire pit stop right now because it's a 3/4 mile racetrack. It takes him about 50 seconds to get a lap in under yellow, and you should be able to get all 4 tires changed within that time.
A little bit of a risky move, but these guys are gamblers, and they make it work. Anything had gone wrong, they could have gone down a lap. They didn't. And Justin Labonte's back out there. We'll be back in a moment. We're into the second half here now at the Jackaroo Sauces 250, and obviously we've had a lead change because the leader, Justin Labonte, went into the pit. So now it is Derek Kelly out in front of the Discount Auto Parts Chevrolet carrying our roof cam, and that should give us some good shots. Behind him in second spot is Ricky Sanders on the lead lap, and the 05 of Marty Lindley is running third.
Yeah, the guys like Jeff Agnew and Chafin and Justin Labonte have been running in front. Now's when they have to be careful and tiptoe through traffic.
So Derek Kelly gets the jump. The number 12 car running second on the racetrack is Tim Edwards. He is down a lap, and perhaps with his best opportunity to get a lap back here if he can just get around Kelly. Doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Now you can see right behind him too. The car.
Whoa! Spoke too soon. He runs up in there, but Derek Kelly saws the front off.
And that's what Scott Wimmer's looking to do too, to make up one of his laps, you know. But right now it looks like Kelly's been able to hold everyone off.
And there's the 20 car of Ricky Sanders. Wimmer down inside. Then the 05 black and yellow car of Marty Lindley.
Yeah, that's the son of the great late Butch Lindley.
Derek Kelly running out in front, setting pace. We should and perhaps could, I say would be the better word, see Justin Labonte, Chad Chafin, some of the others start to run up through the field now that they've got fresh tires and gas, and obviously the good setup for today.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take them a while, though, and, you know, they're just getting back in there. There's probably about 20 cars they've got to pass right now, so if they're being smart and taking their time. They're still, you know, 110 laps or so left in the race, whatever, and they've got time to just pick their way through traffic. You don't want to push the issue.
And isn't this fun? From the roof cam of Derek Kelly, the race leader, looking back at the entire field.
Yeah, and you can see Tim Edwards was really trying to work him down on the inside to get his lap back. Look, right in the center of the corner, he keeps looking down on the bottom, but right now Kelly's been able to pull him coming off.
Well, he's good on the entrance, but Derek Kelly pulls him, as you said, on the exit of the turn. Here he comes again. You get a whole screen full of the number 12 car of Tim Edwards. Now we're looking a little bit deeper in the field. There's Jeff Agnew, the defending champion, of course, pitted a lot earlier in the race. He's starting to work his way up through traffic a little bit, and Chafin is 2 cars in front of him.
Yeah, you can see that as he goes around the...
That's the 94
yeah,
Scott
94
Sutherland.
car, Scott Sutherland.
And we can see just sticking out of the side of Agnew's car, his camera that gives us a great shot of the wall as he goes by, and anybody that might try to pass him on the outside. So a lot of traffic back in the field, and as we said, some of the cars that were good early are good again. They just have to work their way back to the front. Oh, and a big incident. Look at this. We've got cars all over the racetrack. There's Steve Christian in his number 0 car. The 36 goes sneaking through. Trent Owens, who was involved earlier. And this is bad. This is very bad. We have, looks like 8, 9, 10, at least 10 cars involved on the racetrack. Mario Gosselin's number 10, the one of Don Satterfield. So this incident has taken a lot of very good cars out of this race.
That looks like the car of Brad May. I'm not quite sure. He had caught fire, and the fire crew came out to put the fire out. But this is a big incident because it's taken out a lot of cars right now.
This is very tough, and that is Ricky Sanders, who was running in second position. The safety crew is all over that car, and their body language tells us that these guys are going to have to go to work in a way that they don't like to. They're going to have to be pulling him out, and the flagman is putting away the yellow and reaching for a red. That tells us it is indeed very serious out there. So the safety crew still working on Ricky Sanders' car. Mario Gosselin with his helmet off. He hangs it up inside. He knows his day is done. They're not going to fix that car and get it going again.
Yeah, when the driver takes his helmet off and hangs it up, you know he's made the concession that he's done for the day. Looking at the car, you know he is.
Well, Mario Gosselin climbing out. Here's another look at the replay, and once again, it is from Steve Christian's car, who has been in the center of the action all day. Wow. Didn't even see what started that one. It started 10 cars ahead of him.
Yeah, as he was coming down the back straightaway, he started to wave his hand like he had already seen something that was happening. You could see his hand was starting to wave in the mirror to slow everyone down. Justin Labonte's involved in this.
Labonte, I thought I saw the 44 car down there. Justin Labonte involved in this incident. Now, naturally, Stephen Cox is tracking it down. Let's go to him.
Justin, that was nasty looking. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. It was kind of nasty wreck, but when you're running against a bunch of idiots, you don't have anywhere to go. And maybe some of them would just calm down every once in a while. You know, it's only 137 laps in the race, and it's a 250-lap race. I hate these guys don't have any more patience because it's torn up about 6 or 7 good race cars that there wasn't no reason to be torn up.
And you guys really had the car to beat today, it seemed like.
Yeah, we did. The car was awesome. I was just riding back there trying to get back up to the front because we just changed 4 tires, but that's the way it goes.
I'm glad you're okay. We'll see you next time.
Okay, thanks.
All right, they're still working on Ricky Sanders' car, the number 20 machine out there that had been running in second position, and the activity. Let's take another look here at the replay from Christian's car.
Yeah, you can't see what really started it all, but you can definitely see the aftermath.
All right, a lot of aftermath indeed. Cars involved all over the racetrack. And once again, let's go down to Stephen Cox as they still work on Ricky Sanders in his car.
Did you even see exactly what happened?
I was behind Bill Clemens, setting him up to try to get on the outside of him going into 3, so I was hiding behind him, and the spotter told me, but you're going so fast back there. Time I got on the brakes, guy behind me run into me, turned me around, and probably 4 or 5 of them piled into me at that time. I don't know. It happens pretty quick.
Anything to salvage out here at all?
I don't know. I guess probably the shifter knob.
Well, Bill, he knows just how severe this was. We certainly hope that Ricky Sanders is okay. Red flag situation here at the Jackaroo Sauces 250. A dozen cars involved in the incident. Some of these guys have got some hard work to do, even though there will be a 2-lap penalty for working on the car under red, as you told me when we were at break.
Yeah, you know, if you work on your car under red, you get a 2-lap penalty. But if your car's damaged that bad, you need the time. Don't worry about the 2 laps. Get the car fixed.
Well, and a quick update on Ricky Sanders, some concern over him. He has regained consciousness. Well, that's all we know right now. We'll get back to you a bit more when we have information. So, including second place Ricky Sanders, an incident here now. So the leader, Derek Kelly, jumps off the restart. And again, we see Tim Edwards, who is down a lap, trying to get his lap back. He was trying awful hard before, and it doesn't look like that situation's changed either.
Yeah,
a lot of shuffling deeper in the field, though.
He's tried this once before, and Kelly's been able to hold him off.
So he's running second on the racetrack, but he is a lap down. He is not second in the race. That honor instead goes to the 05 of Marty Lindley. And Lindley's got his hands full right now back there with a whole bunch of guys.
Yeah, Jerry Rector's right on his bumper right now, and then you've got Bobby Gill, it looks like. Oh, and it looks like Lindley slips a little. A couple guys are getting underneath him right now.
Definitely up the racetrack he went. Underneath comes Rector and also Bobby Gill. Wimmer's in there too.
That's Chafin's underneath him right now.
Chad Chafin, the early leader, comes underneath. So Marty Lindley's pedaling backwards through the field big time right now.
And then for the first time today, we've seen Jabe Jones just kind of getting underneath him right now.
The 09 of Jabe Jones. Oh, Jones gets all kind of loose, and that lets Jeff Agnew close the gap. Agnew's up inside there a little bit. And here is the window cam, out of which we are seeing Marty Lindley's car on the outside, the 05, and Agnew takes a position.
Now this is definitely exciting.
Oh, man.
What a shot with the camera, too.
I love it. Going down inside, all we saw was wall all race long from Agnew's camera. That time we saw a great pass, and Marty Lindley, man, he just went like he was in a backwards running revolving door.
I don't know if it was because he got stuck on the outside lane or what happened, but he went from 3rd to 7th real quick. But now he's back down on the bottom groove and he's running back up again.
And Scott Wimmer's behind him. Wimmer down a few laps, as we mentioned, 3 to be exact. So maybe the marbles are really starting to develop up high on the line there. And once your car's set up for a low line, you get up there in the loose stuff, you're gone.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It depends what the sun's doing. You get a little later in the afternoon. Track starts to get a little greasy. There's a lot of oil on the track now from racing. Maybe that second groove isn't going to hold them anymore. We'll find out, though.
Well, and it's sunny over on the backstretch side of the racetrack and in the shade over here on this side. So the conditions not only overall are changing, but they are changing from one side of the track to the other. There's Rector on the 77 car. Closing up is Chad Chafin. And they are in sight of the leaders. Here's Derek Kelly right now with that lap car number 12. And then you've got 3 cars coming up to challenge, including
Bobby Gill.
Bobby Gillen.
He's running 3rd right now. The best he's been was 4th. He's moved up to 3rd right now.
4th on the racetrack, 3rd on the scoreboard. Bobby Gill in the number 69 car, running a spot behind the 77 of Jerry Rector. Man, these guys this is the tightest bumper-to-bumper racing we have seen by this many cars since the first green flag dropped. There's a lot of guys coming alive here late in the race.
I've got to give credit to Tim Edwards. He's driving the wheels off of that car for being a lap down, and he's been able to stay right with the leader and hold the second place car off. And he's not holding anyone up. I mean, he's racing his own race, and he's been able to keep competitive. I really like that.
He's looking for an opportunity to get himself back on the lead lap. There are only a dozen cars on the lead lap right now, partly due to attrition, and a lot of the attrition due to that last rather lengthy incident involving Ricky Sanders, involving Mario Gosselin, involving even the leader of the race, the previous leader of the race, Justin Labonte.
And here we got Bobby Gill looking to the inside of Jerry Rector here, and it looks like he's going to get him.
Well, you knew that was coming. Bobby Gill able to hold the low line. Jerry Rector hanging on for dear life on the outside.
And he still pulls them as they come off the corner. He's got a little better bite coming off.
Oh, here comes Gill, though, with good position going in. Can he drive out? Nope. Rector drops back in front of him again.
And if you happen to catch like 2 cars behind them, there was Jeff Agnew sideways in the middle of the corner trying to get underneath Chad Chafin.
And all the while, Tim Edwards in a lapped car is holding them all at bay. Just behind the leader, Derek Kelly. Here comes Gill again, looking underneath Rector. Edwards is just in front of them.
What this has done is it's given Kelly a little time. Not much, believe me. He's not resting, but he started to breathe again. And you can see that the 77 car of Richter started to slip up again.
And he goes high, looking for a way around the outside of Edwards. That may not have been the best idea, although both of them are going to have to get by if it's going to happen.
And Agnew again gets way in the gray loose stuff and starts to slide. He backs out of it and loses about 5 car lengths on that move.
So Agnew running well there in his 73 car for a while, and now he's lost a lot of track. He's going to have to make it all up again. Edwards is slipping back finally, and there was a glimpse of Agnew about 5 car lengths back. He had been right with him. Derek Kelly with a couple of lengths lead.
Now they're starting to come up on some lap traffic. We'll see if Bobby Gill can use some of his, I guess, savvy of driving and his experience, and see if he can use lap traffic as a pick.
Well, he's driven a very patient race, something that a few of the drivers out there that we talked to during the red flag incident were not very keen on. The impatience of some of the drivers. Bobby Gill certainly has been very patient. And patiently, Chad Chafin has come back up through the field after his pit stop, avoiding the incident that collected many of his rivals.
Yeah, remember, he didn't need to show any patience at the beginning of this race. Chad was definitely the fastest car of the field, so he just kind of ran off and hid. And now he's just using a little time. He's been in, put his tires on. He's back up running 4th right now.
Derek Kelly running in first spot. There's Jeff Agnew, a shot out of the camera and a good look at USA International Speedway on the wall. Jeff Agnew running well, and outside now is the 09 car as he goes by. Jabe Jones tries to go for position. Jones dropping back a little bit. Oh, this is great racing with a great look. What was that? What was that? Oh, that was definitely smoke. And James Jones says, oh, man, let me out of here. I thought it might just been a little tire chirp, but that was something that could go inside.
There was definitely smoke out the exhaust. That's definitely a sign that we've lost the motor.
All right, well, the 1998 Hooters Pro Cup champion Jeff Agnew is history, but we are not. Stay with us. Welcome back to Lakeland, Florida. Scheduled pit stop for the second place car, number 77, Jerry Rector. Stephen Cox, though, is with Jeff Agnew, who is out of the race.
Jeff, if I had any luck at all, I'd give you a bucket of it or a brick of it or however it comes, you know?
Well, there's a lot of guys had some bad luck today, you know. That's just one of those things. That's just the way it goes. It's a shame we had a good car there at the end and had a real good
It
shot.
seemed like the car was getting better, not worse.
Yeah, this car, since we've tried it, we've run it one race here last year, and it didn't like to qualify real good, but it liked to run after you run a few laps. So when we got the car to qualify a little better today, I said, well,
we should be real good for the race, but that's the way it goes.
Well, you have to take those things in stride, don't you, Bill? I mean, mechanical whimsy, if nothing else.
Yeah, and what a letdown. You're champion 1 year, and you come back, you really have expectations to repeat, and on your first race, you have engine problems. But, like I said earlier, long season, a good champion bounces back, puts this week behind him, goes to the next race, and goes after it again.
Boy, but you hate to give up points in the first race or any time early in the season. They're hard to get back.
You hate to give up points any time of the season. You want those lap leader points. You want the most lead lap points. Yeah. When you're running for a championship, you really get focused, and you almost have to. I've won a couple championships before. What made it easier for me mentally was that I didn't go after the points for a championship. I went to every race and I said, I'm going to get the most points this week. I'm not going to worry about the year. If I get the most points this week, then I'm going to do all right.
Well, we're looking once again at Tim Edwards alongside the 21 of Derek Kelly, still under yellow, and that gives us an opportunity for a further update on Ricky Sanders. He was transported to Lakeland Regional Medical Center. They expect to keep him overnight as a precaution for observation against anything that may develop. So we're certainly glad to hear that, and we wish him well. Back to green flag racing, and off the roof of Derek Kelly's Discount Auto Parts Chevrolet, we're looking at the whole field once again, especially that big Monte Carlo bumper, the number 12 there. Tim Edwards still trying to get that lap back.
He's still working the back bumper here, and give the guy credit. He may be a lap down, but he sure isn't driving like it.
Not in any way is he driving like it. And there is Bobby Gill up to second position on the scoreboard. Chad Chafin running in third spot right now, third officially. Remember, the 12 is a lap car. So many of the early leaders are back in contention, of course, with the exception of Justin Labonte, one of 12 cars involved in a very big incident just after halfway.
Yeah, it looks like Bobby Gill and Chad Chafin aren't sure how they want to split the number 12 car of Tim Edwards, and while they're doing it, it looks like Chad's able to get underneath Bobby and pull away the side, actually run into second. And then Bobby Gill comes off the corner and holds him off.
Great side-by-side racing by two terrific drivers. Chad Chafin, the pole sitter, with obviously a very fast car here today. Bobby Gill may have to give up that spot and concede that Chafin has the better car and now the better line around or up toward Tim Edwards' number 12 car.
Yeah, but while these two guys have been racing side by side, Derek Kelly's been able to pull away and get a little more comfortable lead again.
Hey, while two dogs fight over a bone, the third one runs off with it, right?
Yeah.
That's what Derek Kelly's doing. He has got a big lead, maybe his biggest lead because of all the dicing going on behind him. And we're yellow flag coming out again. Another yellow flag, and this time, guess who? Number 72, Jeremy Gerstner, just can't buy any kind of luck here today. He's had a bad handling car, and it's bit him a bunch of times. We'll be back to Lakeland shortly. Awaiting a green flag after the 14th caution of this Jackaroo Sauces 250, lap 192. We expect to see it wave, and then we'll be down to the last 50 laps, and I think really, Bill Venturini, the last 50 laps of any race are where things really happen. Everything else is just set the table. We're about to clean the plate.
Yeah, you gotta get set for the last dash for cash.
And right now it's Derek Kelly in the Discount Auto Parts Chevrolet running out front, and guess who in second spot? The man who led virtually all of the early laps of this race, pole sitter Chad Chafin, is up into second position. Then Tim Edwards, a lap car, in third spot, doing a great job. We continue to tip our hats to him.
Yeah, Chad was kind of using Kelly's bumper a little there, give him a little nudge, get him sideways. Kelly did a beautiful job, kept his foot in it, and still leading.
Oh, maybe they're friends, and he was just saying hello.
Yeah. There are very few drivers. You may be friends when you're off the racetrack, but when you put that helmet on, you're a competitor.
Chad Chafin coming up underneath, closed a lot of ground on the entry to the turn, but Derek Kelly able to hold him off coming away from it. And down the straightaway, Kelly gets into the turn again, but he's just a little higher. Chafin's got that inside line working and working well.
And if you remember the beginning part of this race, Chad couldn't run the bottom line. He seemed like he was running the higher lane. I guess went right underneath him, down on the bottom.
Chad Chafin on relatively new tires. Derek Kelly on tires that he has put on recently as well. So tires, hard to say whether they're any different or not.
Yeah, but I think when Chad came in, if you remember, his crew member said they were going to make a chassis change. And I think what they did is they tightened the car up. They could have either done it with tire pressures, or they did it with a wedge bolt change, but you definitely tell they've tightened the car up and it's been able to run down on the bottom lane.
Well, we heard Chafin's crew chief say they were a little loose.
Yep.
Maybe they were a little loose, and it sounded like a bunch of hot air at the time, but they knew something we didn't. They've adjusted the car accordingly, and he's on tires a little fresher than those of Derek Kelly. All of those factors are conspiring to have him challenge for the lead. Bobby Gill moving up into third spot and closely behind Chad Chafin, we might add. So veteran Bobby Gill's right there with him. Edwards slipping back another spot. He's running fourth on the racetrack in that lap car, number 12. Here comes Chafin again, having another look. Derek Kelly doing a great job of holding him off in the Discount Auto Parts Chevrolet number 21. Here's one of the cars involved in the earlier incident, aerodynamically challenged.
Yeah, as you can see, the weather has definitely changed from when we started in the beginning of the day. It looks like it's gotten definitely, there is no more sun. We're running into the more to the dusk part of it, and your car changes. Your car changes from sunlight and hot racetrack conditions to cool overcast, and that could be coming into Chad's play right now.
Here he comes inside for the first time. He gets a fender on Derek Kelly, but Kelly holds him off.
Gets him sideways, and then he gets underneath him, and then Bobby Gill gives him a little shot in the back bumper.
And a pass for the lead. As Chad Chafin went by, he set that pass up, and boy, when you get caught in that revolving door, it just keeps spinning on you. Bobby Gill goes through as well. So Kelly got up there loose, or I should say Chafin got him loose. Kelly got up a little bit high. Two guys go by inside, and now it looks like two more have done that. And the yellow car of Derek Kelly's all the way back in sixth position. Make that 5 cars have gotten by him.
Yeah, you can see Toby Porter. That's Toby Porter running up there right in front of Jay Fogelman. And those guys, they've been kind of just hanging around in the top 10 position. Now they're running, I think it's 3rd and 4th right now. Yeah, they've really put on a good show right now.
Well, now's the time to put on a show. That's the money laps coming up. Jabe Jones in the 09 car running in 5th spot as Derek Kelly continues to go backwards. His tires kind of gave up all at once there, it seems, and some very interested crewmen looking on right now because this is the time to pay attention. So stay with us. Green flag racing continues here at the Jackaroo Sauces 250 opening round of the USAR Hooters Pro Cup Series. And a look at Derek Kelly, who led quite a few laps a while ago. He's dropped all the way back to 7th place.
Yeah, but one of those reasons are he pitted maybe 25 or 30 laps earlier than the guys that are in front of him for his tires. So now that these tires have 70 laps on them, or 80 laps versus 50 laps, it makes a difference, and it's showing. He's dropped back from 1st to 7th now.
There's Jay Fogelman in the QYK radio sponsored car there, leading a group. There's Derek Kelly still running well. Back with him is Jerry Rector, who we saw go into the pits late. Now he's coming out with fresh stuff and moving forward.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, you only allowed 2 sets of tires, 8 tires total for the whole race. Tire management, we've said that from the beginning, and it's starting to show. Whoever was just waited their time, but Chad, you got Chad Chafin, who, like I said earlier, seemed like he was just smoking everybody and still running up front.
Race for 4th position right now on the racetrack, led by the number 4 car. That gives us an easy way to keep track of that. The 09 of Jabe Jones is behind him, and then trundling along in 3rd position in this group, Johnny Rumley in the 27 car, looking for a way around.
And you can see Jabe Jones slip a little, and Johnny's looking underneath him.
Well, there's going to be some racing coming up here. These guys have saved the best for last. You can be sure of that. They've assessed the opposition. They have calculated their strategy for the closing laps, and now they're trying to put it into play. Here's Rumley making a move inside on Jabe Jones. Can't get it done. Might get it done. And let's say does get it done. Nope. Side by side, 2 groove racing. Boy, it has definitely come into reality here now. Nope, Rumley comes inside again. Let's see if Jones can hold him off on the high line. It is the long way around, but if he can carry the speed, he's got position coming off the turn.
What he's doing is he's forcing Johnny Rumley to actually have to get off the throttle a little sooner and get on it actually a little later, because he's down on the bottom. He was spinning the tires. But it looks like right now he's got the right line, and he's going to make the pass.
Johnny Rumley makes the move. That's for 5th place, because up ahead of them, the 4-car, Jay Fogelman, benefited from their little dice, and he was able to pull away for 4th place. There he is in the foreground. And now Rumley's going to have to go after the 4-car of Fogelman to try to pick up 4th spot. The 3 leaders are out ahead of them.
Yeah, you can see the distance right now.
Chad
Chafin, right?
Yep, he's the leader again. This is the guy with the fast car, sat on the pole 0.005 of a second quicker than Justin Labonte. Labonte, who was caught up in the wreck there just past halfway. And now the 27 of Johnny Rumley has opened some ground on Jones, and he is going after Fogelman for 4th place.
Toby Porter, he's running real good right now. You know, he's been in and out of the top 10. I think it depends on where his pit strategy's in. Right now he's running 3rd.
3rd spot for the 80 car. That indeed is Toby Porter. In 2nd place, it's Bobby Gill. The leader is the 84, pole sitter Chad Chafin. Just for the quick rundown there. Here's the 09 of Jave Jones, the 4 in 4th place. Good way to keep track, as we said before. Makes it easy for us up here in the booth. Guys are spreading out a little bit now. Everybody's found a place on the racetrack that they're trying to work, trying to take some more notes here and set it up for the last couple of laps. Again, the 58 car there, Jeremy Bowser's automobile, trying to finish up and get some points, as many as he can salvage without about 1/3 of the body work. Chad Chafin in the 84 car, the leader. He has had the car to beat all day long. Only Justin Labonte has been able to pass him really for the lead,
he was
not involving pit stops.
He was the only one that passed him actually in competition. Anyone else that has passed him was due to pit stops and him having to come into the pits and change tires. But now I've noticed the last couple laps, Chad was running down at the bottom earlier. Now he's letting the car drift up a little more. I think there's no sense of really pushing it right now. The race is kind of in his hands. He's just running his own pace right now, not trying to keep the tires on the car. He's trying to keep them on. And as long as nobody's pressing you, you don't have to cut the corners so tight.
Let that horse run free. If there's nobody around, no line to defend, nobody to race with, Chad Chafin is just letting her run. Number 60 car down on the inside there, Jeff Emery, going down a lap to some of the leaders. Here's Bobby Gill, the great veteran we mentioned that joined forces with Bob Klein Racing. His teammate Brad May driving a number 70 car. Bobby Gill, a veteran, and Bob Klein, a former San Diego Charger football player.
You know what? I've been looking here, and I'm going through the top 5 here. We've got 3 Chevys and 2 Fords. I mean, there's no dominant make in this series, which I really find is interesting. The rules have gotten the Fords and the Chevys to be able to run competitive. There's no great advantage to be a Ford or a Chevy. The guys that are running good are the guys that have their setups right and hit with the right programs.
3rd and 4th place being contested right now between Toby Porter and his number 80 automobile and the Ford of number 4, Jay Fogelman, the WQYK car. We have seen all day long running consistently in the top 10. So there's your brand loyalty, brand rivalry going on right there. Pick one. Pick the one you like for 3rd and 4th place right now. And the 27. We saw him a while ago, Johnny Rumley.
He stayed out of trouble all day today, like we said, just running a good, consistent race. And Johnny's the type of guy that he's run all different series. He was in Busch. I know I think he's run some late model stuff, and now he's in the Hooters series. A racer, just likes to race.
Kind of like Bobby Gill. Bobby Gill will race anything and travel anywhere to do it. The number 1 car.
Yeah, that was
Satterfield.
That was
Good
kind of
old
a slick move on Satterfield to go underneath Bill Clemens Jr. going into the corner. They went 3 wide.
And there's Chad Chafin working traffic. Bobby Gill inching up just a little bit closer. There he is, just tucked in behind. 1 car in between them right now, taking the high line around a couple of damaged cars. And it is interesting how the clean cars, the undamaged cars, the survivors are the ones that are left to race for the checkered flag here at the end of this one.
Well, you know, the old saying is to finish first, you first have to finish. You got to keep your car in one piece, keep the fenders on it before you can actually challenge for the win. 250 laps. It doesn't matter how many. You can lead 245, 249. If you're not there at the end, that's not where you get. The payday is at lap 250.
And somebody said once, if luck is a lady, she is a fickle one.
You know, sometimes they say, you know, the guy's got good talent or he's been lucky. I think I'd take luck any time of the day.
Rather be lucky than
Be
good.
lucky
Another
than
very
good.
common expression.
Yeah.
Bobby Gill, a little of both here today. That number 69 car looking mighty clean, mighty shiny, and there's a very talented driver behind the wheel. And at this point, the second best combination on the racetrack, it's Chad Chafin that still got him covered. He had him covered on the first lap of this one. He might have him covered on the last one. Nice tight pack race in there.
Yeah, you could see Jay Fogman and Toby Porter coming up on some lap traffic. Things start to get a little dicey right now here. The 05 car right in front of him. That's Marty Lindley.
This is 3rd, 4th, 5th, etc. 3rd place, number 80, Toby Porter. The 4th place car, number 4. So a lot of racing still going on up front. Chad Chafin. Clear, clean track. And Bobby Gill, the veteran, trying to close some ground on him in the closing laps of the Jackaroo Sauces 250. "24 laps remain out of 250 scheduled in the Jackaroo Sauces 250 with Chad Chafin out in front right now, running clean, running smooth, running a little scared though because Bobby Gill has come right up within a couple of car lengths.
Yeah, Bobby's closed it up, and you can see he seems to get into the corner just a little better than Chad, but that's been Chad's problem all day long. Oh, I shouldn't say it's a problem. He's led most of the race, but anyone that's been able to close up on him has been able to do it getting into the corner. He comes off like a rocket, though, off the corner.
As they work around the 67 car there of Darrell Gwynn. And, oh, look at this. Jabe Jones looks as though he's lost a tire. The right side is down on the racetrack. Yes, he has lost a tire. The wheel's sparking. And, well, that's certainly caused a tense moment, but no caution flag. As Chad Chafin and Bobby Gill continue around the racetrack, Jones is able to get it off and out of the way. No caution flag.
Oh, man, I feel for him. He had a good top 5 possibly going for today. Blows the right front tire and hits the wall.
Well, they've got to lift that car up onto the jack even to get the wheel changed, get him back out there, try to salvage some points. And meanwhile, Chad Chafin, no problem. It's a walk in the park for him so far today. And we emphasize the so far because I don't know about you, but if I'm looking in the mirror and I see a car that I know has Bobby Gill behind the wheel, I'm thinking my day could be long still.
Boy, you know, I've won a lot of 248-mile or 248-lap races. And I've lost a few 250. You just really, you know, now is when you start to feel the vibrations. Now is when you say, oh, man, the car's loose, the car's pushing. Have I got enough gas? You know, you feel vibrations. You hear noises. It's the worst part of a race, is especially when you've got maybe a 4 or 5 car length lead. You know, if he's busy racing door to door with somebody, his mind isn't thinking about his race car or thinking about winning the race, or if something's going to happen, all you're thinking about is racing the guy next to you. Right now, his mind is just going, oh, man, I can't wait to see the white flag. What's going to happen to me now? You know, you just, but, you know, you always want to be in this position. You know, as much as Bobby Gill may be closing in on him, I'd rather be leading with 10 laps to go than running second.
Is Chafin trying not to drive with an eye in the mirror?
Oh, I don't know of a driver that's leading a race like this that's not driving with the mirror. A smart driver drives with the mirror. He doesn't need to push the car. If he doesn't know where his competitor is behind him, he may overdrive the car. He doesn't have to. If he keeps him with, say, 4 or 5 car lengths behind him, he knows that he can drive the car a little easier and not have to worry about using up the tires or slipping and sliding. I don't know of anyone that wouldn't drive in the mirror in that situation.
Third, fourth positions and fifth being challenged right there. Again, the number 4 car gives us a great idea of where he is. He's still in fourth place, and getting a little love tap there.
I think Johnny Rumley's decided it's time to turn up the wick and let's see what we've got here.
Rumley trying to get a little bit of pressure applied to the rear bumper there of Jay Fogelman's car.
You know, Toby Porter in the first class car, he's been really kind of quiet. Look at both guys slipping and sliding. But Toby Porter, he's running third right now.
Great run.
Great run. And we haven't said a lot about him, but he's just been there. He stayed out of trouble, getting through traffic good right now, and now he's got to look. He's got to worry about a couple slower cars, but no problem.
And you have to wonder, too, about Tim Edwards in the number 12 car. Had he not gone a lap down, he's right there in contention and has been driving a great race all day long. Around the outside, though, here comes the freight train, led by Toby Porter in third spot. Great run for him, maybe his best ever.
You can see, though, but now it's, we mentioned the last couple laps. Jay Fogelman and Johnny Rumley have closed it up on Toby Porter, and now Toby's going to have to worry. And you can see, I think maybe Chad Chafin looked in his mirror, saw that Bobby Gill was getting a little closer, or his crewmen told him, hey, step it up. He's closing up on you a little. Stretch it out a little if you can. And even though he may think he's nervous, that's the best feeling there is.
Oh, yeah. Chad Chafin leading the race. And this late, with a car running that good, I don't know.
They just got the 2 lap to go signal.
2 laps to go, and that means he's got only a mile and a half to circulate around USA International Speedway before he can collect the checkered flag. Bobby Gill would have to light up a Jado bottle right now to make a move on Chad Chafin. Chafin's going to come around for the white flag. 3/4 of a mile, 1 single circuit of USA International, and the deed will be done for Chad Chafin, who sat on the pole, led the early part of the race, and now leads the part that counts.
Just drove one smart race, saved the tires, didn't use them up too much, and had the car, class of the field today.
Chad Chafin comes around in the number 84 car to take the checkered flag in the Jackaroo Sauces 250. He puts his name in the record book and gives his crew reason to celebrate, winning the opening round of the United Speed Alliance Racing Hooters Pro Cup Series for 1999. The United Speed Alliance Racing Hooters Pro Cup Series has been brought to you by Hooters Restaurants. Hooters, delightfully tacky, yet unrefined. And by Jackaroo Sauces. For your next barbecue, try Jackaroo Sauces. Jackaroo tastes so great, they named a steakhouse after us. And by Naturally Fresh Dressings. Naturally fresh, it's not just our name, it's our promise. And by WQYK, Tampa Bay's country leader. Let's take a look at the unofficial results as the crowd is pressing the fences to get down to victory lane, and it's Chad Chafin with a pole position win. Bobby Gill in second spot, Toby Porter, Jay Fogelman, and Johnny Rumley rounds out the top 5 here. And the fans are filing in there to get those autographs, no question about it.
What a nice run for Derek Kelly, finishing 6th.
There's the car in victory lane. The Hooters girls are lined up. And you know that nearby is Stephen Cox. He's been down there all day long. So let's join him with Chad Chafin down in victory lane.
Well, you did it the long, hard way. I kept expecting a big charge from behind. 69 had you. He was with you, but I don't think he had anything for you at the end. Were you showing all your cards?
I pretty much ran as hard as I could. Bobby in the 69 car, I don't think he could have passed me, but I had a hard time passing him. We were pretty equal. There was 3 or 4 cars ended up this race pretty equal. At the beginning of the race, me and the 44 was equal. Justin, but he might have not been showing everything, because when he got ready to pass me, he took off like a bullet. He had the car to beat, I believe. And either our tires went away a little bit or he just stepped it up another notch, But this Logan's Roadhouse car just ran great. The crew did an awesome job. Feels good.
Well, congratulations to Chad Chafin. Let's go to Stephen Cox now, who's found Bobby Gill.
You know, I thought maybe Bobby had something for him. Was it just a lack of motor?
Yeah, we was down on motor all week. The car really handled good. You know, I got to thank Billy Hess. He helped us on the front end on this car. It's got his front end on it, and he's building us a new one, which we're going to have out about the third race, which is going to be a Ford, so we should have plenty of horsepower then. But hey, it's pretty good for the first team coming together, and, you know, we took that car to Concord last week, and I stripped it all the way down and cut metal and lightened it up the best we could, and the car turned out to be pretty good.
But not quite as good as that of Chad Chafin. Tech inspection post-race has produced some questions.
Yeah, you can see they're looking for some illegal wheel spacers on his car, and I think they found them.
I think they did too, and apparently Chad Chafin will be disqualified, and Bobby Gill will be declared the winner. For now, at least, certainly all of this will be under appeal, and we will update you the next time we see you. Let's take a look at the calendar for the remaining events on the Hooters Pro Cup Series. We will see you next in Mobile on March 20th, 4 p.m. for the Miller Lite 250. Hope you can join us there. We have a few awards we'd like to acknowledge here. The Plemons Insurance Hard Charger Award goes to Steve Christian, who gave us so many good views out of his camera, and he finished 6th. That also gives him the Miller Lite Rookie of the Race Award. Congratulations to Steve Christian. A terrific event. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. For Bill Venturini up here in the booth and Stephen Cox down on pit road, I'm Brian Drever. Thanks for joining us.